The young people you're about to see interviewed in this film are real, not actors. They'll be talking about important events in their lives. They're all pregnant, and by the time you see this, all will have had their babies. Here are their stories.
He was so crazy. You know, he owned this moped, right? And if I was walking on the street, he would ride by and slap me or something while he's riding and keep on speeding, and I can't catch him to hit him back, you know. And me and his sisters were good friends. We used to go, you know, and just go in the park and go for walks and stuff like that. And I told his sister the day I said, I love your brother. Well, this night, my mother's asleep here. And then I'm laying in the living room watching TV, so Ricky, that's the older brother, came walking in the door. So me and him was just sitting there watching the movie. And then he got up and went to the back door. And I heard him coming in, but I didn't look up. And the next thing I knew, Robert was laying here next to me. I said, well, how did you get in here, you know? So then he said, Ricky let me in. Then we just started talking. We had a very lovely conversation. Then before I knew it, I was kissing him. Let me see what it was that he asked me. He asked me, how would you like me to take you through the joy of womanhood? That's how he put it. So I asked him what he was talking about because I didn't know nothing of the sort, nothing. So before I knew it, I just don't know. I was all undressed. Before I knew it, he was all undressed. And right there in his room, he took me through the whole thing.
Do you miss him?
A lot. I really do miss him. Sometimes I wish I could just go and see him. Yeah?
How old is he, Karen?
He was 17 in October.
And how old are you?
I'm 15, was 15 in September.
Was he the first man that you had sex with?
Yes, the first. And I won't go to anybody else. I'll wait for him forever.
Did you have any idea when you started having sex and your boyfriend took you through the joys of womanhood, as you called it, that on the other side of those joys there could be a pregnancy?
Never really imagined. Never thought me, no. It's possible, but I said, who, me? Couldn't be. I mean, I wasn't taking anything, but I said, gee, it can't happen to me.
But it did.
Yeah, as you can see, it did.
This is Karen and the baby boy she delivered 4 months later. About a week after he was born, Karen came back to the hospital saying how hard it was to be a mother.
We started going to discos, and, you know, because we both liked dancing. And I guess it was, we went out like almost every night, and it started getting serious after going out so long. Because we went out a couple of years before, you know, I had Angie.
Angie was your first baby?
Yeah.
Had you and Billy planned to have a baby so soon?
No, it just happened.
Can you tell me what happened that led up to Angie's arrival?
Maybe because I was so young and I wasn't using anything because I didn't even think of it till I got pregnant.
Did you get married when you were pregnant with your first baby?
Yeah. It was 5 months.
So how old were you, Anne, when you first started to have sex with Billy?
15. When I had Angie, he was, you know, the only one I had sex with.
So you told your mom. What kinds of things did she say? Do you remember?
Mainly like, oh, how am I going to tell your father? How's he going to take it? But she took it pretty hard, too.
And was this second pregnancy a planned pregnancy?
No, it wasn't. I went for a yearly checkup, they took a urine test and they told me I was pregnant. I was shocked. You know, and I was going to keep the baby. I wasn't going to abort it because I don't believe in that.
Had you been using any contraception or birth control after Angela was born?
Yeah, I was using the pill. Mm-hmm.
So you didn't plan to become pregnant. You had used the pill, but you got pregnant.
Yeah, well, I used it, and then I stopped because I was getting sick.
What's the biggest worry you have right now with this second baby coming?
Well, how am I gonna be up all night and all day? Because Angela's just a baby herself. It's gonna be hard, because Angela was up all night, and it was awful.
Anne gave birth to a healthy 7-pound baby girl, and she was faced with caring for her 2 infants alone. Nancy, tell me, what were things like before you got pregnant?
It was really good. I was going to school. I was the princess of the Puerto Rican festival. And I used to be all the time with friends, with my family, and everything. It was really great.
Princess of the Puerto Rican
Festival. That's in the summertime here in Boston.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice.
How old were you then?
I was only 15 years old. Yeah.
And you're how old?
I'm 16 and a half. I'll be 17 in February 10th.
Did you know that you could get pregnant if you didn't use any precautions?
I didn't know it, but I wanted a baby. Seems funny because I'm too young, but I really wanted it. Because I seen my sister and my family with kids, especially my sisters. And the kids used to tell their mommy and I love you and all these dumb sweet things. And I said I would like to have a baby so I could be, you know, like them, love like that way.
Nancy, where is the father of your baby now?
Well, right now he's in California.
And you're here in Boston?
Yes, I'm not with him no more, 'cause we had a little problem. I thought I was gonna be living with him forever, 'cause I really loved him and I liked him a lot. But since I haven't heard from him, I don't know what's gonna happen when the baby's born. I don't know if he's gonna come or he's gonna see the baby. I don't know what he's gonna do. Give him his name, his last name. I'm really thinking about that, and I'm worried too.
And you really thought he cared about you?
Yes, but it seems like all this wasn't true. 'Cause they'll tell you everything, and after they'll do anything and they take you, they forget. I want to be happy with my baby. I don't have him, but I still have my baby.
Nancy named her baby boy after the father. When he didn't come back, she went to California to look for him. Rochelle, how old were you when you first started having periods?
I think I was either 9 or 10, one of the two. It was really funny, because I remember that day. I ran down the hall after my mother told me what it was. I ran down the hall, and I was just screaming, I got my period, I got my period. And when I started telling everybody, my mother came out there, she just went off. She started screaming at me. What are you doing? You know? But see, I was so proud, because I just figured I'm a big girl now, you know. I got my period. Wow. I'm grown.
Did you know that when you started to get periods, then you could get pregnant?
I thought, well, before then, I thought you could get pregnant anyway. My mother kept telling me, if you kiss a guy, you get pregnant. And I kept saying, I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to kiss you, you know. But then when she told me my period was it, and I said, so I'm not going to do that, you know. I don't do anything like that. Now, I always thought that was nasty, you know. Don't let any guys touch you. I guess that was how I was raised.
So when was the first time that you had sex with a guy?
I think I was about 15, 16. It was scary. It hurted. I didn't want to do it no more. I started crying and said, I'm not going to do this anymore. But everybody was talking about it so much. You know how school, everything is, if you don't do it, you're not in the crowd.
How do you think he felt about it?
I guess he was happy because that made him a man now, you know. Made him a man.
And what did it do for you?
Nothing.
It's going to be a little girl or a little boy?
I want a boy. But if I don't have a boy, I will.
You'd like a boy?
Would I like a boy? I'd flip over a boy. But they said it was a girl. I don't want a girl. I don't, because there's too many females in our family now. Girls are hard. Plus, my mother put a curse on me, I think. She told me if I have when you have children, your girl's gonna come out just like you did and put you through all the changes you put me through. And I don't want to go through them. So she put that little curse on me.
Rochelle didn't have the baby boy she wanted. She delivered a healthy 5-pound, 12-ounce girl.
A friend of mine and her boyfriend and the guy I was seeing, her boyfriend and the guy I was seeing were best friends. Me and her were best friends. We all went up to her cabin up in New Hampshire for a couple weeks. And one thing led to another.
Had you planned to have sex that vacation?
No, it didn't really even cross my mind. Just ended up in sex.
And this was the first time that you ever had sex?
Yeah. And then I got pregnant from that. Which was no bargain. And I had an abortion. That's no fun either.
How did you find out for sure that you were pregnant the second time?
I went to the clinic and had a test done. That was when I was about 6 months. I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't know how anybody would react. And then I just gave it a lot of thought for a long time. Cried a lot. And I decided it'd be best to put them up for adoption.
You having twins?
Oh, yeah. I'm having twins. Found that out at 2 o'clock in the morning. One morning.
How did you find that out?
I don't know. I had gone over to the emergency room of the hospital over in the tower because I had been bleeding. And they did an ultrasound. And the guy says, oh, wow, look at that. There's 2 of them. I says, there's 2 what? And he goes, oh, there's 2 heartbeats. There's 2 of everything in there. I said, oh, no.
Some people think that if they place their babies for adoption, that would mean that they really didn't love them. How do you feel about that?
It takes a lot more caring to put a baby up for adoption, I think, because I know how I feel. You know, it's not that I don't care about them, but I know they'd be better off. The homes that adopted kids are put into are very nice homes. And it's usually people that can't have children. And they're set financially, which a lot of people have said to me, well, who cares about the money as long as you love them, keep them. And I said, I do love them, but that's not it. Me loving them isn't going to buy them formula. It's not gonna buy them clothes. It's not gonna buy them toys to play with. It's not gonna pay their doctor bills. It's not gonna do anything, really.
Do you hope they'll understand why you couldn't keep them?
Yeah, I do. I wouldn't want them to hate me or something.
Mary delivered twin girls by emergency cesarean. They were placed together for adoption, and their new parents sent this picture of them. There may be other young people or parents seeing this film someday. What would you like to tell them?
Because a teenager gets pregnant doesn't mean that she's irresponsible or stupid, or it doesn't mean that she's a whore or anything like that. It's just maybe she really does care about her partner.
But the guys always get mad. They're the ones that need it more than anything. You know, it's like they're desperate for it. But I feel the girls should say no. If they feel they're not ready for it, say no.
Like when they're 12 years old, that's when they start developing themselves, and they have to know everything, really.
If you feel you're going to have sex with somebody, to ask about birth control and use some kind of birth control, especially if you're a teenager, because it's hard to make the decision of what to do when you do become pregnant, and it can happen to anybody.